Hello, hi, and welcome back to yet another episode of In the Same Boat with Aditya Joshi. My name is Aditya Joshi, as you might know by now if you have seen our previous episodes. Don't worry, this is a new show. This is just the third episode. So if you haven't, go back, check them out if you feel like. And if not, it's okay. Because I know, at least for now, you guys are not here for me. I mean, I can just go on doing all this bakchodi for as long as I feel like it. And trust me, I can go all 40 minutes. That's what she said. No, but well, that was actually, I mean, I didn't plan for that. And as you can know that this is an unscripted show. And speaking about shows, you might have heard or laugh already. Or we might have even just cut to the other camera. So speaking of shows, my guest today has done a very, very interesting and very hit show called UP65, which is available on Geo Cinema. She starred as Shubhra in that show. So humans, please welcome Pragati Mishra. Hi, Pragati.
Hi, Aditya. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, first of all. The show is very new. So I'm very glad that you chose to come here and spend some time with us.
Yeah.
I think that's really sweet of you. But I really do want to straight away jump into this because, okay, firstly, we do know each other a little bit.
I was actually going to say, if I may cut
yes,
you,
of course.
I thought we should start the show by doing our signature step. So we know each other from a play that we do together.
Yeah.
So we should just begin by saying,
Go with the flow!
Yeah. Okay, now we can do the whole interview.
Yes. Now we can go ahead. By the way, that's AK Various. Hi. You can use this. You can use this bit if you feel like it.
Yeah, sure. That was
you
just
can feel like
free of cost.
Yeah, free of cost.
Like plays pay a lot, but sure.
Yeah, but we do know each other from we've done a play together called Go with the Flow, which was an AK Various production, and but I do want to start off a little bit with your show first, and then we'll move on to the play.
Okay.
This is, I was very excited when I found out. I didn't know that you had a show coming up. I don't think you had told anyone, or at least I didn't know.
Yeah.
And when I saw your Instagram and I saw that you have a show coming out on Geo, because I was extremely excited for you. So what was the entire process of auditioning for it? How did it go? And, were you confident about getting that part, getting cast as Shubhra? Like, I just want to hear everything about it for the next 40 minutes. I'm just going to drink my coffee.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll talk about then. we'll just have one question. I remember meeting you on the first day of the rehearsal and us kind of catching up because you were into casting before and we knew each other from there. Barely knew of each other. Yeah. And I had actually gotten this play, Go with the Flow, at a time where I was actually really kind of craving for work.
Right.
So it metaphorically made a lot of sense.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was very anxious and I really wanted to work. I had finished shooting for the show UP65 last year and it hadn't released.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything because I had shot for another show which hadn't released. So I was extremely nervous. I didn't know what to expect, and then our play happened, which genuinely gave me so much strength, so much positivity.
Yeah.
Our whole ensemble was like a family, so I didn't know what to tell anyone. But the show released while we were during the last days of our rehearsal. And we were just going to do our play, we were just going to take our play on stage for the first time. And that's when my show came out.
Yeah.
And I remember the whole ensemble being so supportive and excited.
It was genuinely like, it was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
And yes, I would I would come for rehearsal and everyone would be cheering. And I remember, so when the show came out, it came out on the 8th of June.
Yeah.
We had done a few shows till then of Go with the Flow.
Had we?
I guess.
I have horrible memory when it comes to certain things.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's why we did very well. No, I think we'd done a few shows and we were doing the second round of shows during that time. And the show came out and I hadn't come out of my house for 2 days because I didn't know what to expect and I didn't know what people were feeling. I didn't know if anybody was watching because there was so much content coming out. And then after 2 days, suddenly I started getting a lot of messages and calls, and then meeting everyone was amazing. But sorry, totally to answer your question and to get back at it.
I love when people digress. That's my favorite thing in the world, when your brain just kind of goes. I just love it. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, because I've actually talked about how I got this show and the process of it a few times. But coming on this show, actually for the first time, you made me think about how when we were together performing a play, and how when my show had released, the amount of love and support I got from the group, it made me think about that for the first time. Grateful.
It was,
but it was amazing. The story of getting UP65 is very, very simple. Every actor keeps auditioning for a lot of parts. I was continuously auditioning, and this scene comes along, and I read it, and my sister was visiting, and she always hates it because whenever she's in town, she feels like I work the most then and I don't give her any time. And I remember she was helping me with lines, and we were having so much fun. Kyunki, can we talk in Hindi on this?
Yes, of course.
Great. So I'm from UP.
बिल्कुल
और ये जो ऑडिशन सीन था वो देवनागरी में लिखा हुआ था, एकदम जैसे हम हिंदी में बात करते हैं यूपी के लोग, मस्ती में लिखा हुआ था, और वो सीन पढ़ के मैं खुश हो गई। और मुझे प्यार से बहुत प्यार है, तो जो ऑडिशन
we got a snippet मुझे प्यार से बहुत प्यार है।
It's true. So in the audition scene, this girl is pranking the guy who apparently really loves her without having met her properly, and she's taking his case. So I just thought it was a lot of fun, and I went in and I gave the audition, and I had a lot of fun while auditioning. Came back, forgot about it. After 4 days, I got a call saying shortlisted. I said, wow, that's also very rare, getting callbacks for me. Like, wow, what? Great. But I had no expectations, because I was like, okay, let's see. Then they called me back and they said, do you want to do it? And I remember saying, I'll call you back. And then I was at Silver Beach Cafe in Andheri. I called my father and I was just crying. Because, I had been doing this for 3.5 years, I think, at that point. And it was my first ever call of like landing something.
Yeah, and not like release your dates or something like that.
Where thank you for your time and effort. We really appreciate it. We will contact you again.
No, but
please, you may release your dates.
No, but at least I find that to be sweet enough. Like if they, like if casting people reach back and say, hey, thanks, thanks for doing this, but it didn't work out. So I always appreciate that. Like I always tell them that it's nice of you too. Because I've been into casting, so I know that you audition hundreds of people, but then even then, like I was still an actor. So I would always feel so bad if I didn't tell them ki nahi hua hai. Or, or like if I just didn't say anything. So I would always like, draft a small message and be like, sorry, ye nahi hua, but like all the best for and everything. But auditions, you had kept giving a lot of them. Is it easy for you to sort of, go in, audition, khatam ho gaya, go home and never think about it again?
No, totally. It's a skill that I've really kind of honed and developed now, because honestly, touchwood, I think most of the parts that I've tested for, all of those roles, I've really wanted to do them. Every script, most of the audition scripts that have come to me, they've just been so beautiful. All these characters have been so unique that I remember I tested for, I can talk about it. The show is out now. The show that's recently come on Hotstar, The Freelancer.
Oh, okay.
So I tested for the girl in the show, Alia, and it was a very intense scene. And the scene is about how she gets married to this guy that she's in love with. And when she reaches, they go on their honeymoon, and she finds out that he's actually involved with ISIS. And she's not in her country. She's with the man that she loves, and suddenly her world shatters. And I remember doing that. And I remember falling in love with this character and just the scenario so much, because I prepped for it and I did it and I had so much fun, and then I didn't hear about it, and of course I didn't get it. But I remember that something in me kind of broke, because I really, sometimes you really get connected to the parts that you audition for. So I think, yes, over time I've told myself that I'll go and I'll enjoy the moment for what it is. And then I will forget about it. I will just tell myself, I don't know if it even exists.
Yeah.
So it's a very imaginary world that I tell myself I'm entering, and I'm going to try and enjoy
it,
and then just come out of it without having any expectations.
It's actually, because I think that approach has also worked for me a lot of times. Because if I keep focusing on, I think the only time that I can remember, I mean, I'm sure I must have done it, but the only time that I remember I did that was for Tali. That was the only time, because similarly, I enjoyed auditioning for it, and I was like, it's so like, I shouldn't be asking, but then I was like, it's okay, because it was Parag sir's office. Yeah. So I was just like, let me just see, let me just text once. And well, it happened. So that was actually pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, honestly, I'm still trying to work on it. You tell yourself this, but the moment a really good opportunity comes in, you feel like you want it and you can't dissociate yourself from it. So, trying to find that balance, I think, is an actor's job.
It definitely is. And I think the more you start enjoying the process, I think you just start realizing that, this is also kind of fun. To get to sort of play these many characters all the time, like, the thoda sa, and especially making sense of 2 pages. I think that's a challenge in itself. Ki 2 hi pages hain, but how are you going to make these jump off the page? Are you a fan of whenever, or how do you deal with that usually? Because a lot of times it happens to me also, and ads के लिए या फिर ऐसे कुछ जो होता है ना कि अभी चाहिए, अभी दे दो audition, like I just need it now in half an hour. I don't know, somehow I just get very like flustered, and most of the times I don't end up giving those auditions, or I say no, because I mean I'm firstly I'm not at home. I'm doing something else. So how do you deal with that?
Initially, when I had started auditioning, I realized that a lot of these things would happen, and the same thing Aditya happened to me. I thought, nahi, main nahi de paungi. So I used to not test for a lot of ads, and I don't know kya tha mujh mein, because I had nothing, I had no work, but I was doing theatre. So that kept me very satisfied, and I felt like I don't want to suddenly, if I am working on something, I don't want to leave a place and run to give an audition that's not even been briefed for properly. So I don't know, I just never connected to that, so I never did it.
Right.
And it was very hard because I had no money, but I used to test for a lot of ads, and I would only kind of test for parts that were long format, or ads that were briefed for properly. No, that's how I dealt with it. Running away.
No,
not a great advice.
No, definitely. No, because I did the same. Because I always have this very. I'm always curious about this, because every artist is. I don't think just actors. I think all artists are faced with this dilemma of, work satisfaction versus paying the bills. Like there is always that question of, I don't think this is my area, I don't really like this, or I don't want to do it, but I got to pay the bills. So even when you were doing that, like you were doing theatre, you were satisfied, but like you said, like you didn't have any money. So how do you solve that problem? Because at the end of the day, you need something to sort of sustain you, because Bombay is a very expensive city to live in. So like, how did you deal with that, or how do you deal with it?
Okay, it's gonna sound a bit sad because the honest answer truly is that I think the past 5 years have kind of shaped me into this person who doesn't really enjoy life as it is. I mean, I think I did give up a lot of the simple pleasures. I stopped shopping on like festivals, or I remember I was living with flatmates, and my roommate told me, you never go out for coffee with me. But going out for coffee was a big deal for me, because I only did stage. And I didn't know what to say. I really didn't. Because like every penny matters. So I think the way I dealt with it was I made myself into this person who did not want any of the luxuries. It's not a luxury, but it's a very, I think everybody has a certain kind of a lifestyle that they lead, right? And that should include your, you should treat yourself. You should enjoy life. You can't just, there should be a balance. But I think I did let go of that balance for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it's made me into this person who doesn't have I have fun, but I don't, I'm very disassociated with anything that has to do with a lot of expenditure of money.
Yeah,
I never had that, and I never chased that. I had to make myself like that. Sorry.
No. I was just going to say that is very interesting, because I think a lot of times the definition of fun is now being decided for us. Like what is supposed to be fun. Like if you're not out on a Saturday night, oh my God, what a loser are you? And I used to be that person, judging people that, oh my God, you're not out on a Saturday night. What is wrong with you? Are you okay? Why are you sitting at home? But then eventually I started realizing that no, that person is perfectly happy with the choice that they've made. So was this something that you consciously chose, or were you, or is there some regret that maybe I could have enjoyed myself a little more? Sorry, am I touching a nerve?
But
sorry.
No, I think because I always told myself that, I don't know, maybe I'm too hard on myself, but I think I always told myself that I will only, there is no regret.
Yeah.
And it was a very conscious decision to lead a certain kind of a lifestyle to achieve the dreams that I've always dreamt of. Sorry, what was your question?
Okay.
There is no regret.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But you're right. I think as an artist, we'll have to keep finding that balance. And I've also understood that for the longest time, I used to think, also touch wood right now, I think the industry's also changed a lot post-COVID.
Yeah.
But before COVID, honestly, I would think, what are my chances of becoming commercially successful? So I might as well work on my craft, have the patience, and success will take time for me because I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I don't come from this industry, so it will take time for me to work on myself as an actor and an artist and find myself and find my place. And I can't be chasing short-term happiness. I really wanted the long-term happiness. So I definitely don't have any regrets. And it was conscious. But I do think that right now I'm trying to find that balance also because there are so many more opportunities.
Right.
And also the dreams that me as a 4-year-old was seeing was very commercial. And I do think that now we do have, the gates are more open. So
that is very true. I think when I just came back at 2000, when did Sacred Games come out? 16, 17?
No,
15? No, 16 or 17. Just when was it? 16, 17, no? Sacred Games. Yeah. So
bad with memory.
So yeah, very bad. No, but I love that show. But I think that was the sort of this first spark that ignited this entire giant OTT sort of industry. And I think since then, even my confidence has increased that there is now a chance for almost everybody and anybody. Because there is just so much content. There are so many. Every TV channel got its own OTT platform. Every any new person who's coming in there, everyone's just trying to compete with each other on that space, and that has caused such a giant space of creation. कि ऐसे थोड़ा लगने लगा कि हाँ अभी इसमें तो हो सकता है. Like even if it's an OTT film, yes, I can get an OTT film because अभी वो हीरो हीरोइन का वो हीरो हीरोइन विलन का फॉर्मूला थोड़ा सा टूट गया. But our stars still do it. And Shah Rukh can still do Jawan, and it is going to work because it's him. But that is something that I feel adds a little to the comfort of auditioning, because it's not just theatrical films anymore. It's a lot more. Does that comfort you as well? The thought of there's a lot more opportunity.
Yes, of course it does. It really, really does. It makes me think about my decision of quitting my job when none of this was there.
Yeah.
And I look back and I feel like, okay, you know.
Yeah, you did. You switched from was it journalism to advertising to acting? Or was it advertising to journalism to acting?
Journalism
to advertising to acting. How did that? I mean, like you said, your childhood dream was कि यही करना था.
Yeah.
But then journalism, like how did the journalism bug get in? And were you like, yeah, this is good, or what? You were like, I've always hated this. I don't know why.
No, it's a very embarrassing story.
I love embarrassing stories. I live for embarrassing stories because I have so many.
Yeah. I don't know ये मैंने पहले बोला है कि नहीं, but मैं 11th grade में थी, मैंने 10th में अच्छे marks लाए थे. And all of my friends took up science, so I took up science and I started studying. Okay, everybody was going. All of my friends went to IIT coaching institutes, and I was like, of course, that's what I'll do. And I was studying, and it didn't make sense after a point, because I said, okay, I know it's hard, I know I'm doing this. Okay, I can try, but what am I doing? I will solve this equation for you, but इससे क्या हो गया? मतलब, I didn't see a tangible result, okay? And that really bothered me. So life-altering decision was made when I went to the washroom with a girlfriend of mine. और मैं washroom से बाहर आई and हमारा एक close friend था. और मैं बहुत बातें करती थी बचपन से, तो मैं कुछ पटर कर रही थी. तो उसने मुझे कहा, तुझे पता है, तुझे ना जर्नलिस्ट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि तू इतनी बातें करती है and you're so entertaining and you have an opinion on everything. You should be a journalist. And I don't know why. Maybe it was the time when I was really questioning, okay, what am I studying? And like him saying that, I went up to my father and I said, Papa, I want to make a difference in this world. And I want to be a journalist. Okay. And I don't remember if it was that year or the next year. 26/11 had happened in Bombay. Okay.
Okay.
So it was a very like
dark and
suddenly. So journalists were right up there. Okay. Or TV pe, I'm talking to my father. I'm not even kidding. This is literally what happened. I'm talking to my father. I'm going to be a journalist. And I want to make a difference. I mean, I want to find the purpose of my life, okay? And ऐसे टीवी पे दिखा रहे हैं बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट हुआ है एंड अ जर्नलिस्ट इज रिपोर्टिंग एकदम से कुछ और होता है ना, जर्नलिस्ट ऐसे वो छुप गया है because the journalist is actually really scared. It's real.
For their life,
yeah. And my father's like, you know what? Did you just see that? You won't even be able to do that. He said you don't even read the newspaper. Like most of the times, except on Sundays when it's like shiny and bright and you feel like you want to read. And he said, how are you going to do it? Also, he said, what are you going to earn? He had this image. He said, journalists, वो एक झोला होता है, 5,000 की सैलरी होती है, क्या करोगी? तो मैंने कहा नहीं, if I have to do something, I want to study this and I want to really going to do it. And I don't know how my father got convinced and he said, okay, if you want, you should go to Bombay. Why Bombay? Because my father is in, he works for the Indian Railways. और बॉम्बे से नागपुर में रहते थे तब हम, दुरंतो ट्रेन चलती है ओवरनाइट. So my dad said तुम्हें बॉम्बे जाना चाहिए क्योंकि फिर तुम ओवरनाइट घर आ सकती हो अगर कुछ हो. So that was the reason for me to move to Bombay. He said दिल्ली दूर हो जाएगा, तो इस बॉम्बे भेजते हैं, रात के रात लड़की घर आ जाएगी. It's like
you put a protractor on Nagpur and said one day का क्या है radius.
Literally. So that's how and 8:45 की ट्रेन होती थी आई थिंक दुरंतो. पापा ने कहा ये ट्रेन चलती है, इससे तुम आ जाओगी, मैं तुम्हें छोड़ाऊंगा, अप्लाई कर देते हैं. Okay, go study what you want to study. And so I wanted to be a journalist, and then when I actually started studying it, I realized I did not have the best set of capabilities, the best set of passion, the right intent. None of that was there. I was very scared. And my teacher, we had a teacher who would teach us journalism, and he would tell us all of these crazy stories of crime in Bombay, how he reported that, went into bike la ke koi bridge ke andar.
It's terrifying. Like, I mean,
I would come out of the class and just be like, I don't know if I can do that. So then advertising was very exciting. And yeah, I really had fun
Right.
doing advertising, so I switched to that.
Nice.
You've literally asked me everything about my life, Aditya, just FYI.
Well, that's the end of the show. That's all. No, but no, of course, that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
We need to get to know each other a little bit more. And
Did I tell you any of these stories before?
Nope.
Oh, no.
None of these. I mean, I knew a little bit about about UP65 and all because you've done a lot of interviews now.
Yeah.
So like uski wajah se, like I knew some of them in bits and pieces, but like ऐसे बैठ के having a conversation, I think this is one of the first time itna lamba, because what happens usually in our play especially,
Oh God.
there are like 22 people plus backstage and our director, 22 people in the cast. So
yeah,
having a 5-minute conversation, like consecutive 5 minutes, is extremely tough because somebody is going to come and say, hey, ye hua hai, wo hua hai, food is going to be there. So it's very hard. I think that's why we haven't. So that's why I called you. I said, come sit, and then why not just have a few cameras and
tell the world about my embarrassing stories and how I made the most important decisions of my life in a jiffy.
That is one of the reasons I started a talk show, just to embarrass people. I love doing that. And pro tip, start a talk show, call me in. You'll get
best interview.
You'll get amazing content. I've embarrassed myself way too much. Way too much.
Great.
So I just have I just want to ask you, ye like UP65. You also did Charlie Chopra, by the way. I was like, I had seen your posts with Vishal Bharadwaj, but like I think I bhul gaya or what, but the second I saw you, I was watching it with my girlfriend and like a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I just went, hey, that's Pragati there. And yeah, like I was so excited to see her. And then I was like, oh yeah, she has worked with him.
Yes.
So how is he? Like I would love to work with him one day, but how is he like to work with?
The best.
Yeah.
The best.
I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know why I asked that question, as if she was going to be like, no.
No, really. Yeah. So honestly, ye wala show bhi, I was on a spree. I said I will audition for everything.
Yeah.
Everything that comes my way, I will audition for it. In terms of long format, anything, any role. And a casting assistant from... Sorry, please.
No, go ahead.
Casting assistant from Gautam sir's team
Yeah.
Told me it's a tertiary part for... It's just like a one scene part for this show that Vishal sir is directing.
Yeah.
And I love Shakespeare. Love Shakespeare so much that during the lockdown, I was just reading Shakespeare because I'd never actually read Shakespeare properly in school.
Yeah. You need this opens a whole new can of worms, and you need to come back to this show because 40 minutes we're going to talk Shakespeare. See, I did not know this about you. We've known each other for what, 4, 5, 6 months? I don't know how long. But I did not know this about you.
Oh my God, I love... And I mean, of course, I've loved all of his work, and I felt like just to have the opportunity to audition with him, to audition for something that he's making is great. So, yeah, it was a very small scene. I think I had 2 lines in the audition. And I've worn a whole, क्योंकि शादी का सेटअप है तो मैं घाघरा चोली पहन के तैयार होके गई हूँ ऑडिशन देने 2 लाइन बोलने और मैं कही हूँ कि ओ देखो वो something 1 or 2 lines I had and I've gone full ready and then I gave it. I had fun, came back and obviously again didn't think of it because you give so many auditions you forget about it. They called me and they said so you're selected, do you want to do it? I said yes. I don't want to talk, I want to do it. And I went on set and it was just absolutely, genuinely a day that I won't ever forget in my entire life because when the first shot in which I was there, we were going to shoot that. Just before the shot, Vishal sir came and he congratulated all of us. There was me, another actor, Pamika was there, other actors there. Yeah. Anybody who was doing the scene for the first time, he went up to them and he said, congratulations. Congratulations. I saw your audition. It was really nice. Now we'll do this. And the scene is this. He's briefed us and...
It's so sweet. That is so sweet.
Yeah, and that was... in my waist is visible in that shot. The first shot that I was a part of was just there. And yeah, it was a night shoot. But just on his set, you can feel a sense of I don't know, it's like there's some meditative music in the background.
Oh, okay.
And that is so rare on a set. It's always so chaotic. And it was the last day of shoot. But you know, when you can feel like there's a sense of groundedness, if that's a word, something like that. It was genuinely really magical. And I had one day of shoot, but that's how it began. And when we were doing the scene in which I was there, he's blocked the scene with us. And of course, we had a few dialogues and, you know, there was movement in the scene. Suddenly, Vishal sir said, Pragati, and he's addressing everybody by their names. He says, Pragati, हम इसमें कुछ गाना, क्योंकि हम सालियां हैं और हम जीजा जी से कुछ, he said, तुम गाना गा के भी तो आ सकते हो ना. He made the melody on the spot. He said, why don't you sing, जूते चाहिए जीजा जी तो पैसे दो टुकड़ा दो, and you know, he said, okay, you sing it. And then I started singing it, and then my co-actor started singing it. Then he said, why don't all of you sing it? Everybody was coming. And suddenly all of us were coming, singing a song in the scene. And then it was just, it was wonderful to work with him. And I see why his, everything that he makes, why is it so, why does it kind of reach you here? Because it's made with so much of love. Because the process is so...
It genuinely, I don't know how, but I have a feeling whatever you do, you make it with love, and somehow it reaches the audiences. I don't know how that works or what the logic of it is, but I think it definitely does happen.
So I'm very grateful that I got to work with him. Even though it was for one day, I will keep it in my heart forever and ever. Okay, we can move on.
We can move on. Okay, I think I just have one last thing to ask you.
We've only talked about work, Aditya, and you said this show is not about that, but okay.
I don't know. You you're contradicting. You just said you told me everything about your life.
Yeah, actually, and my life. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think we're keeping a good balance with work and personal stuff.
They all have like blank faces.
We are.
And like a slight smile. So I don't know what they think.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I just want to say that you know, like UP65 was sort of like it sort of pushed you quite. You know, like thoda sa push बहुत ज़्यादा मिल गया तुम्हें. So now has the process of auditioning or anything changed for you, or are you starting to get more calls about through that work, or how is it for you right now?
I don't think the process of auditioning has changed. I don't know if I'm getting more calls, and I remember, I can just share an incident again. I had come home one day, and of course, as actors, you do something, it comes after a point, but you've not worked till the time it was in post, right? So you've not really been working actively on set. So I'd not been working actively on set for quite a bit, and I was again a bit like, oh no, I want to work. And I came home and I was talking to my father, and I said, okay, Papa, I did this audition and this, but I don't know. And then he said, but you remember you used to not do that. You didn't get auditions like this before the show, right? And then it made me think, and I guess maybe he's right, because the thing that I had tested for was something that I didn't even know if I could. Like, maybe before the show, I probably wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to test for it. Even though I think casting nowadays is extremely open to newcomers and everyone. But I do think I did get a few more. But I think, I don't know if that has anything to do with the show. Yes, there were a few people who had seen the show, who liked it. And it was nice because you were getting to hear something back from the casting director. So it's nice. But I still think it is open to all.
Right.
But if you reach out, maybe you do get that call of like, okay, yes, you can test. But the process is still the same.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I would like to thank you sincerely for being
That's
here.
all the questions.
This is just all the questions that I ever had to ask. We never have to speak again because I know everything about you. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I think it's really, really sweet. This is just the third episode, and it has been very exciting for me to create this because I told you a little bit about it beforehand, as in what the show is.
Yeah.
So before you go, we have a small tradition that I'm trying to, sort of inculcate into the show. Something, it may work, may not work, we'll see. But so I'm going to give you a sentence and you have to fill in the blank. So basically you have to say my name is, and then you say your name, and then my name is dash, and I felt dash about sailing in the same boat with Aditya Joshi. So with Aditya. So that is what you have to say, and you have to fill in the dash. How did you feel about it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have to say, okay. I think I know.
Yeah.
My name is Pragati Mishra, and I felt extremely happy and empowered in a way while sailing in the same boat with Aditya Joshi.
Wow. Okay, that is actually so sweet. Oh, thank you so much. That was really sweet of you.
Yeah. I also want to say something if we have a minute.
Yes, of course we do.
I know you now for quite some time, and I know how hard it is for any artist to kind of take a new step and start something of their own. And I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart, that I feel very, very happy that you dreamt of something and now you have your own show and you're doing this all by yourself. And I think I'm so happy for you because it's one step closer to your dream.
Thank you.
And not everyone does that. So yeah, I feel really proud.
I've never ended. I mean, it's just the third episode, but I've never ended it crying. Today might be. No, but thank you so much for those kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If you've watched this far, please do like, subscribe, share, comment, and what else? Whatever it is that you do.
Yeah, send it on all the big family WhatsApp groups so that everybody watches.
Oh, yes, please do that. Oh, I should say that. So please, thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.